Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sub Hub Podcast. I'm Dani Moreno.
And I'm MK Sullivan, and this is part three of our World Trail and Mountain Running Championships episodes. That is such a mouthful every time. But yeah, we have finally made it to the World Championships happening in Spain this week. If you haven't already listened to them, we did an episode on the vertical race, we did an episode on the short trail race. Because we are the sub hub, we are skipping over Saturday's race, which is the long trail. But today we will be talking about the final race of the World Championships, which is the classic or the up-down race.
Yes, definitely. And this race will be happening on Sunday, September 28th, wrapping up all of the goodness with the women starting at 10:30 a.m. This is in Spain time. And then also 12:30 p.m. for the men, which is very, very exciting. If you haven't already, go back and listen to our previews of the VK or uphill portion of the World Mountain and Trail Championships and then the short trail. But before we dive into the stats of this course, if you guys don't know or haven't heard already, we launched a super fun collaboration with Wild Strides Paper Company, or I think it's just Wild Strides Co., which is a company that is a collaboration of Grayson Murphy, who's representing Team USA, Courtney Coppinger, who's running Team USA, and Rachel Tomajic, who is a multi-Team USA former member, just super baddies over there. And we launched some Sub Hub slash Wild Strides Sub Ultra stickers, which is really exciting.
Yes, and if you guys don't remember, Grayson Murphy is also the reigning champion in the event that we're going to cover today. So that's a fun little fact as well. But yeah, we got a whole sticker pack of like fun little phrases about trail running. But then we also have a sticker, this cute, cute, cute pink sticker that says Sub Ultra Baddie. We got a less than 26.2 sticker. And we even have KOM and QOM stickers. So if you guys are interested in, putting stickers on your water bottle, putting stickers on your ice chest, on your cars, wherever you want to put them. We actually have a discount code as well for 15% off, and that code is SUBHUB15. So you can go to the Wild Strides website and check that out. We will also put that information in the show notes.
Yeah, which is super, super exciting. And speaking of racing, MK and I haven't done that in a minute. But we're both, on our own journeys. MK is hitting the pole really hard. I'm about to start training again. And something that goes hand in hand with training is nutrition. And we absolutely adore our partnership with Never Second. Shout out to Bill and Lauren over there. They are going to be sponsoring the Mammoth 200 coming up this weekend. And something I've been thinking about that I'm really grateful when it comes to Never Second is the flavors that they pick. And if you guys haven't already seen, they do have a post where you can comment a new flavor idea. And if they select your idea, they'll give you a year's worth of Never Second supply.
Yes, so make sure you guys go to their Instagram, put in your information, put in your flavor. I don't even know what would your flavor be if you could like pick one.
It's really funny because when they put it in there, I was like, I feel really great with the flavors that they
Yeah.
have. But I did put an idea and it was mango a go-go. It's funny because they're
Ooh.
not gonna use like a playful name. They'll call it mango. But I put mango a go-go to see if they end up picking it. That's the only one I could kind of think would because they kind of have fruity flavors. What would you put?
Yeah. My first thought was mango's a good one, by the way, was strawberry. I really
Okay.
like strawberry flavored things. Like anytime I find Haribo sour strawberries, I am slamming those things in Europe. So I feel like I would really like something like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. Salted watermelon's another,
Ooh,
like, that's really
yeah.
good. But their contest, the winner will be revealed on November 1st. And this post is basically a woman like, holding a gel both on top and bottom, if you're looking for that post on their Instagram. And it was posted on September 7th. So go and comment a flavor and see if you could win a year's supply of Never Second.
But for now, if you want to try out stuff or if you don't end up winning and you want to get more Never Second, make sure you use our code if you check out at never2.com for 25% off SubHub 25.
Yep. All right, let's dive into this mountain classic. All right, so the stats, we'll hit you with the stats. This course is roughly 8.8 miles, give or take, depending on the lines they pick, and 2,542 feet of gain. My first, what's it called? Impressions. It's basically two loops where you go up, down, up, down, up, down. Not a crazy amount of gain, but maybe I'm just not thinking about this correctly.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. So in Innsbruck, it was actually two slightly different loops, like the first and the second one, but these ones are exactly the same. Uh, with 8.8 miles, that means that it is 4.4 miles per loop with a little bit less than 1,300 feet of gain, which would
Okay,
mean that
that's pretty beefy, actually.
2.1 miles, because you go straight up, straight down in each lap. So 2.1 miles with 1,200 or 1,300 feet of gain, which is honestly like pretty steep.
Yeah, that's pretty steep, actually. Um, I see now because if you guys click on the GPX and drove it over to Strava, so this is it two times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason, the Strava that they downloaded or that we downloaded from the website like doubles every single course. But I'm looking at the grade kind of like we did with the VK, and it's like I don't even see 20% on here.
Yeah,
Like
those switchbacks. It's again those freaking switchbacks that they
we're
have.
between like 10 and really more like 6 and 18% grade.
Yeah, I really doubt like the front runners on both the men's and women's side will power hike. Like if they power hike, it'll
Any of
be for
it.
like a second. But the fact that it's, yeah, roughly 2.4, 2.5 miles of climbing, they're gonna get up there fast.
Yeah. And if you guys have looked up any pictures of Canfranc, there's always like the first Google picture that you will see is like this iconic French looking train station. And this is the race that starts at the train station and finishes at the train station. So those like start finish photos are going to be great.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be super, super cool. And then as far as altitude goes, it starts at 3,900 feet and goes up to 5,100. So again, if you don't live at altitude, it's not gonna inhibit you from putting out stellar performances. Like this isn't, most athletes can handle this amount of altitude without training at it.
Yeah, this is going to be a fast race.
This is gonna be a really fast race.
Not
Tape
as
your
fast as,
ankles.
yeah, not as fast as maybe Innsbruck, just because Innsbruck ended up being a lot more
Road.
road. Yeah, but and these switchbacks will slow people down. But like maybe we're underestimating it, but those
Yeah.
grades just don't seem that intimidating. I feel like a Cirque Series race is more intimidating than maybe this course.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. So again, the start times, as far as this goes, the women will actually go first on this one, whereas on Thursday in the VK, the men go first. So we'll preview the women's field coming up. So we have some really, really top dogs, and we actually have a lot of top dogs that are doubling. First and foremost, we got to highlight Joyce Muthoni of Kenya. She was the overall Golden Trail World Series winner on the women's side this last year. And then we got some hefty doublers in the likes of Scout Adkin from Great Britain. She was second at Sears and all last year. Nina Engelhard, who was first at the European Up Down Champs in 2024 and the Up. She is also doubling. Oria Liaci, who's also doubling. She was fourth at Sears and all this year. And Anna Gibson as well is doubling from the Ascent, as well as Marina Bay, actually, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yep.
And we should note, and we probably noted it yesterday in the short trail episode, but we'll say it again. Our top two returners from this event in Innsbruck are not on this event. They have moved to the short trail. So Grayson Murphy and Tove Alexanderson, who went 1-2 last year, have moved up in distance. But I mean, having your third place athlete on the line definitely helps at third and fourth in Joyce and Valentine from Kenya.
Yeah, only 4 women out of the top 12 are returning, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Teresa Hurkova from Czechoslovakia and Scout Adkin are the returners on the women's side.
Yes, no, definitely. Some other names we want to highlight. We have Martyna. Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Milnerchick is how I
Młynarczyk,
would say it.
a Poland. This is one of the most interesting storylines of
Yeah.
this year. CCC winner dropping down to the Mountain Classic. She had the option to do long trail. She had the option to do short trail, and she said, "No, thank you. I'll do the shortest, well, as outside of the uphill, like shortest running event of the week," which is pretty crazy. And the thing is, Martina's fast, y'all. Like she ran 113 to start her season this year. And if you've watched any videos of any of her races, she's just a quick runner. She always makes up her time on the runnable bits, runnable downs, runnable flats. So it's really exciting to see her in this race.
Yeah, honestly, I think she'll do pretty well
I think
in
she'll do
this
pretty
race.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see after this all shakes out. Was she the smartest doubler from UTMB? Because
Yeah.
I mean, we have to remind you guys that these are only like 3 weeks apart, 3.5 weeks apart. And most of the people who ran CCC or OCC or UTMB are doubling back in the short trail or the long trail. And Martina said, no, thank you. I'll do the race that's going to be like 70 minutes long.
Yeah. That is a really good case study, actually. I bet you she'll be in the top 10, to be honest.
She might even be in the top five.
Yeah. That'll be
Yeah.
super fun to watch.
Somebody that we are particularly excited about. We hyped Anna Gibson up a lot in the vertical, and I think she deserves just as much hype here as well. But Lauren Gregory is also one of our top dogs here. First at the Golden Trail World Series Tepic Trail this year, fourth at Broken Arrow 23K, 15th at Sears and All, which I think was probably not like her best day. But last year she showed up to the Golden Trail World Series final and finished second at both of those days in the prelude and the final race. So I kind of see this like up-down format as being very good for Lauren Gregory.
Yeah, I would agree. She'll shine here for sure. We have a couple of Kenyan heavy hitters in the likes of Valentine Rutto. She's actually fourth at Innsbruck in this race. And then this is a newer name for us, just kind of digging into her details. This is Ruth Gitonga Mwaki of Kenya. All I could find on her is that she has a 32:14:10K. However, she did win Kenya's selection race. And in that field was Valentine and Phalaris. It also had Joylene, but Joylene, as you guys know, if you've been following the sport recently, was banned. But I just thought that was like a really great win against a great stacked field of Kenyan mountain runners. And that
Yeah,
was that was just oh, that was November.
last November,
Last
yeah.
November. And then last but not least, highlighting a returner, we have Teresa Hirchova of Czechoslovakia, eighth 2 years ago in the Classic.
Yes. Other names that we would like to mention, doubling back, Alyssa Marin from Canada, Julia Font from Spain, Andits Iturbe from Spain, Susanna Sapunki from Finland honestly should probably be moved up into our big dog's name. She was seventh at Sears and All this year, and she is a crusher on the WMRA as well. I believe she won the one of the races at their World Cup final. I can't remember one of the shorter races though. Julie Lalonde from France, Sarah Wilhoit from Great Britain, Alice Gaggi from Italy. Interesting to see her moving down to classic this year because she was like top 15 in the short trail in Innsbruck. Gloria Chebet from Kenya, Veronica Matuzik, sorry, Veronica from Poland, Celine Aby from Switzerland, Saibi Chebet from Uganda, Karine Charap from Uganda, Risba Charap from Uganda, and then Courtney Coppinger and Ali Mack from the USA. Two athletes that, like, Ali Mack obviously is a former world champion. Courtney, this is her first US team, but they could definitely find themselves in the top 10 if they have good days. And I think on the Uganda side, just like we were talking about in the vertical, Uganda historically has done pretty well in this classic event. So just because we don't have any, you know, trail results on these people other than Rispa Cherop, who won the Ugandan Trail Championships in this event, I don't think you can count them out as like a team to watch.
No, I couldn't agree more for sure. Um, yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun team battle looking at the results last time. Kenya ended up winning, so they double won the Ascent and the Mountain Classic. And then it's actually United Kingdom that was second last
Which
2 years ago. Not
isn't that
surprising.
surprising to me? Yeah. And I do think that Kenya is going to be very hard to beat this year because both Joyce and Valentine are back. And they went 2-4, or sorry, 3-4 2 years ago. And then you have this Ruth gal who beat all of them in the Kenyan championships last year. So it's just like, is Ruth not racing because she just like doesn't have the means to, or is she not racing because she hasn't been healthy?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. And then France was third, which I don't know, like definitely Elise isn't returning. And then we had the United States missing out on the podium, which yeah, only Ally Mack is returning there, which is crazy. Yeah, it'll be interesting because to your point, like Innsbruck did have a lot of road.
Yeah.
Like the first downhill, if I remember correctly, was like very gravelly. It wasn't that technical.
And
And
then
then
it turned
how
into road.
and then it was
Yeah.
literally road going into that second loop. And then I think it was like semi-technical going up the second climb. And then at that point, it's quite a push to the finish. So yeah, it depends on being that this, I feel like less road, people who tend to run and have more of that speed. It's tough. It's tough unless you see the actual course. We'll have to get some beta from the US athletes on the ground at some point. Um, but yeah, I think
It also kind of
Kenya,
depends just like, yeah, on how good you are at like holding momentum through switchbacks. It's not as bad as the vertical, but there's
yeah,
still like some decent little switchies in there.
yeah. I think the most exciting th thing to me about the switchbacks is I think some athletes freak out because some athletes thrive off of it, but you can see people longer versus just being in a long line, being
Yeah.
like feeling like you're falling off the switchbacks. I think people that hunt, like it kind of gets them a little bit more jazzed. They're like, I could see you. You're literally right there. You're not hidden in the trees like six women in front of me. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because I don't think based on like satellite map that this lower part of the course is like treed enough. Like there's trees, but that it's dense enough that you could like really kind of get away with hiding in them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, Podium and potential top team.
I think it's probably gonna be Valentine in first, Joyce in second, and I'm gonna go Nina in third, actually. And yeah, I think Kenya runs away with it this year.
Yeah. I think I think Lauren wins.
Lauren
Lauren's
Gregory, I
fresh.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
she hasn't
Lauren's
raced
fresh.
since
Sierra's and all.
Mexico. Oh, Sears and all. Yeah,
And that
and she,
was a little disappointing for her, you know?
yeah,
And I think she thrives, like she will thrive on a course like this. Like seeing what she did on Sunapee with such a little buildup, you
yeah,
know? Um, I think Anna is gonna do great as well, but I see Anna crushing the ascent, and so maybe that'll just take a little bit out of her legs. Granted, at Broken Arrow, Anna did get the better of Lauren, even with some tired legs.
yep,
So yeah, I think Lauren is gonna take the win, and then we have Nina and Joyce, I would say, second and third. Oh, wait, a fresh Joyce. It's just so hard because Joyce is kind of having an
an up
offish
down.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, like she's nailing it some days and having some tough goes. What am I doing? Lauren, Joyce, and then Nina. We'll go with that. Yep.
okay.
And then team-wise, Kenya is going to be really, really difficult to beat. Um, but I think Great Britain, Uganda, and USA are going to be battling out for second and third.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's reasonable.
All
All
right.
right, let's move over to the men. This race. Okay, let's go to the 2023 results first and talk about our returners. So we have four returners from the top 10 in Philemon from Kenya, Alejandro Garcia from Spain, Cesar Maestri from Italy, and Xavier Chevrier from Italy. Um, I think it's really, really hard to ignore the amount of Sierra Zinal top five men we have in this race, though, this year.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, you have to, Philemon is the outward favorite, of course,
Absolutely.
obvious favorite. Coming in second, just won Sears and all for the second time. And the other time he ran Sears and all, he was second. And I
He
think
was 1 second behind Killian for second place.
1 second. And it is kind of interesting because I always think that Philemon is the better runner of Patrick, but Patrick tends to beat him on more technical races. Like if you think about Kobe, Patrick is one, but
Yeah.
I do think we have caught that Kobe is probably more of a like steep climbers race. But anyways, Philemon can do it all. He's gotten better every single year. I think this is his race to lose, but he does have challengers first and foremost from his own team member, Michael Selelo from Kenya, who was third at Sears and all this year. We also have the likes of American Taylor Stack, who was third at Pitt's Alpine Glacier. We have another Kenyan who was fifth at Sears and all. So Kenya is going to be battling amongst themselves and seeing how they race. I feel like they'll all go out together.
Well, and all three of those men are team run together athletes. So they
Oh,
train together.
yeah, this is lethal for the rest of the team or the rest
Yeah.
of the field. Like that's not fair. That's
Ken
crazy.
yeah, Kenya is 100% the team to beat
Yeah.
in this race. But I do think I think Philemon is like going to be hard to beat for sure. We actually like have two Americans that I could see squeezing into this top 10, one of them being Taylor Stack, who you just mentioned, the other one being David Norris. I don't think either of us expected him to win Sunapee, but he had an amazing day, ran away from the field pretty much from, the get-go, and he was just top 10 at OCC, which
Surprised
I
me,
was
to be
surprised.
honest. Yeah.
Like, I honestly was more surprised because it became a less OCC race than what it should have been. Like
Yeah.
the 55K steeper version of OCC would make more sense to me than what he ended up having to race on.
I would agree. That's totally where my head went as well. And he was 13th at Broken Arrow 46K, which was like a good result, but ninth place at OCC this year. Holy
Yeah.
cow. Like that is, and also just looking at the score he got from that, that is by far his best score. He also won Mount Marathon again this year.
Yeah, for like
Um,
what, the sixth or seventh time or something.
yeah. So
And it was
he
a
is
slow year
lethal.
and he wasn't that far off of his own course record.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. So, yeah, I think I would agree. David Norris is a dark horse in this race for sure. Like, if he's up there mixing it with the Run Together Kenyan team, well, it's the Kenyan team. They just all happen to run
Yeah.
for Run Together. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, which would be really, really freaking cool to see. We then have, Cam Smith as well, who is doubling. And Cam Smith, when he ran Sunapee, he was also surprised making that team because he
Yeah.
hadn't been running downhill.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, at that point I forgot he was like not really training for anything other than uphill because of skimo.
Yeah.
And so he had that impressive US championships, ended up making the VK team. And I actually thought it was like a good day for him because the race ended up being so short. Whereas I think if it had been the longer version of the VK, he had a better chance of like winning the US championships or the selection race there. But then he turned around and got seventh at the Golden
Yeah.
Trail Series race like 2 days later. And I remember his Strava caption being not just an effing skier because people, I mean, us included, are always like, Cam Smith's an amazing VK athlete, but like, can he do this? But he has shown twice now that he can do like some up down stuff really well. So definite dark horse on this men's US team.
Yeah, it's more of like what's it called? David Norris, Cam Smith, and Taylor Stack, if they're up there helping to push the pace, I think we're in for a treat. Like, I think that means they're feeling good. Because I think in a two-lap race, you have to be in contact that first lap. Like, this race is just too short, you
Yes,
know?
absolutely. Because
It's,
I think on the women's side, in 2023, it took like 70 minutes. And then oh, we have it right here. Yeah, Grayson won in 64, and Leonard Chimutai of Uganda won in 56 minutes in Innsbruck. So it's going to be like an hour long.
yeah, no, yeah, it's too short. You have to be in contact. And yeah, maybe if you're like, coming back and moving into the top 10, but if you're looking to be on the podium, you need to be in contention the whole time.
Yeah.
A couple other athletes, kind of to the likes of the uphill team with the African Kenyan team in Uganda. Uganda has two athletes who are fast on the roads. They have Abel Chebet and Martin Kiprotich. We couldn't find any trail results, but both of them, Abel has run 60-31. That's okay. And then we also have
In the
Martin
half
Kiprotich
marathon,
in the
that
half
is.
marathon.
Yeah.
And then we have 61, which an hour and 1 minute, which is really good. But again, we have other athletes who have now run, 61, 62. But that's definitely worth a call out when people don't have results. And then we have, as we mentioned, Alejandro Garcia, who was sixth in Innsbruck 2 years ago. Caesar Maestri, seventh at Innsbruck. We often see their names at the top of a lot of these sub-ultra races. Lucas Earl coming back for the double, who was fifth at Broken Arrow. Damian Bogdan, third at Kobe this year. Mason Copy, who's also on Team USA, he was eighth at the 23 K at Broken Arrow this year. And the reason why we keep highlighting that race is because it was part of the Golden Trail World Series this year. And then we have Xavier Chevrier, as MK mentioned, Italy, ninth place at Innsbruck.
And Manuel Innerhofer, who was 11th at Euro Up Down
Oh,
last
nice.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, as always happens, I'm sure there'll be some like other crusher that like surprises us. But I guess who started podium last time? I guess
I
you.
did. Your turn.
Okay. So it's my turn to do it this year. On this podium is kind of easy for me, if I'm being honest. I think it's just gonna go Philemon, Michael, Paul.
Yeah, that's fair. I,
Philemon being the top of that podium there.
because none of them are doubling, right?
Right.
Let me double check. We have Michael Selelo. Yeah, they're all Kenya. Wow, Kenya is rolling deep
Deep.
this year. That's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, none of them are doubling, so they're all fresh. Okay. Um, Philmon taking the wind. I mean, just because I'm a big fan, it'd be sick to see David get on that podium. Uh, it's really hard to beat a freaking podium at Sears and now. So yeah, Philemon, Kiriago from Kenya, Michael Soleo, and then I'll say David Norris if he's recovered. Cam Smith knocking on the door in that top five. But yeah, I think Kenya's gonna be really tough to beat this year.
Yeah, if I had to make a podium right now, in terms of team, I would probably go Kenya, Uganda, USA.
Yeah, I think that's a really safe bet just because Uganda, yeah, they crushed it last time
Yeah.
as well. Because let's just review that. On the men's side, oh, interesting. Last time it was actually Kenya, Italy, and Spain, and Italy's top two returners are returning. Wait, yes, Caesar Maestri and Xavier Chevrier. Oh man, maybe we're sleeping on Italy, man.
I think the US team is better this year.
Yeah,
Or like than the team that we sent in 2023.
yeah, they didn't make it into the top five. I would agree. But we can't forget Italy. Second place last time. A pretty good second place too. The next team was 13 points off of them.
Ooh, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out already, go and check out our uphill episode and our short trail episode. Don't forget Subhub 15 at wildstridespaper.com or Subhub 25 at never2.com. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.